Stand-Up Central. The show is me doing stand-up, 2 guests, questions from you, fine people. I saw something fantastic today that made my head explode with laughter. I was in a male change room and there was a 6-year-old girl there. Now, steady, right? But it does create real tension when there's a 6-year-old girl in a male changing room because you become very aware of your penis. You know, what if it hits her? What if I tap her on the head with it? What if she bites it? What if, God forbid? But none of those things happened. She was wonderful. She was prowling around the change room like she owned the place, just pointing at naked men, just, Willie, Willie, boobs, thyroid problem, Willie. And then she did something magnificent. She ran at a bloke that was about to go swimming. He had trunks on and a little hat. And then this little girl just ran at him and just went, I went swimming earlier! I had a wee in the pool. He was horrified. Everyone else in the change room howling with laughter. And that was the best thing. I'd never seen a naked man laugh before. What a treat that is. I didn't realise the John got involved. It's the loveliest thing. He's having a giggle. He's having a wiggle. I love it when a laugh occurs from nowhere, you know? It's great when life does that. I had one in Ireland last year. I was watching a lady, pretty about 60, having a sip of tea in this cabin, just having a lovely sip of tea like that. And her phone rang, and nobody could have predicted the noise that this little old lady's phone would make. Because from nowhere, it roared, I'm too sexy for my shirt! She picked the phone up and went mental. Just stop calling me, would you bollocks? She took the phone and said again, stop ringing me! And she turned to me and went, sorry about that, love. My husband changed my ringtone and I don't know how to fix it. Oh, everyone in the country wants to meet that 60-year-old man and shake him by the hands. You had an image of him just following his wife. She's in a restaurant, Dave. Fucking ring it now. Oh, she looks furious. This is better than the time we put cocaine in the sugar bowl. You know when you're not allowed to laugh, but all you want to do is you're like, It's like a friend of mine got mugged recently, and again, yeah, exactly. I was trying my best, but for some reason I was in a giggly mood, so I got mugged, and you're like, oh, yeah. So, yeah, what happened? And listen to this for a story. I was trying not to laugh. She's like, this arsehole grabbed my bag, but he didn't get my phone. So what she thought she'd do, she thought she'd throw the phone at him, knock him out, and go over there and pick her bag up. That didn't happen. What she did, she threw the phone, and the man simply caught it. You've forgotten something! Cheers. Now, this is the part of the show that I'm quite excited about. These are the questions, so we're going to have some fun. Would you rather be a cat for a day or a wizard? I'm going to go for wizard. Yeah, well, exactly. Why would you? I took some hobbits through Mordor. Yes, well, I buried my turds in a garden. 1-0 me. What cheers you up? It's quite profound. I think the thing that cheers me up the most in life... Do you know what it is, honestly? My neighbour 2 doors down, Roger, he's fucking great. Honestly, he's the poshest man I've ever met. You know, he's one of those guys, everything's exciting. You're like, you're right, Roger? Yes, I am, amazing. Do you know, I've just had the most glorious sandwich in my life. It was wonderful, Russell. Ham, cheese, melted. And you're sat there going, this man is describing a panini, and yet he's happier than I've ever been in my life. This is how great he is. The other day, I saw him across the street, went, you all right, Rog? And he went, I'm more than all right. I'm super duper wiggly woo. Cool. Right, you up for your first guest? Brilliant. Please, welcome to stage the absolutely fantastic Iain Stirling!
Oh, Camden, how the fuck are we? It's nice to be here. My name's Ian, as you can tell from my accent. I'm not from round here, as you can tell from my accent. I am, in fact, British. I'm furious about it. No offence, English people. Well done. You've done wonderful things with the place, right? But what happened was we had this referendum. Scotland had this referendum, and I'll explain to you what happened. Basically, Scotland, we were going to go independent, right? We were going to vote yes. Don't listen to, like, the facts or anything. We were going to vote yes. And then David Cameron promised us a load of shit. So we didn't vote yes. Then that prick gave us none of the shit, right? That's what happened. The analogy I'm using at the minute is, you know, like at the end of every action film ever, there's that like final scene, like the bad guy's been like cornered by the police. He's like grabbed a victim. He's got a gun. And he's just like making demands. He's like, I want £1 million. I want a helicopter out of here. And I want control of my own taxation policy. Right? The guy's losing his mind. And eventually the police go, look, man, put the gun down and you can have whatever you want, right? And he puts the gun down and they shoot him in the fucking face. That's what it feels like to be Scottish currently, right? Oh. We've got an immigration minister at the minute. Our immigration minister, a while ago, came out in the newspapers and went, immigration is out of control. So apparently immigration's out of control now. Like, you can't move for immigrants. Like, you open your bread bin, there's Romanian in there. It's like Offi's nut on carbs. And am I the only one listening to the immigration minister going, immigration is out of control? Thinking, dickhead, that is your job. Like, it's true. A minister is the only job in the world where you can be shit at your job and then just blame someone like 4 years previously that done that job. You can't do that in any other job. I can't walk into a sandwich shop, order a ham sandwich, have the guy give me a shoe and then go, I'm really sorry, mate, but a couple of years ago, this was a Timpson's. Like, you can't do that. Britain's relationship with immigration is just so bizarre at the minute. Like, wherever you stand politically, British people, we all have one fundamental flaw when it comes to immigration, and that is this. As British people, we all romanticise how good Britain actually is. Like, wherever you stand politically, you've got these guys on the far right, like, nah, they come to this country, they take all our benefits, my dad never loved me, right? You've got these guys. But then equally on, you go on the far left, you get some maniac with like a scarf on and dreadlocks in, just, come on, guys, quickly, everyone over here, yeah. Look, our countryside and infrastructure. A brown person, how random. Yay! I went to your country once on a gap year. My daddy loved me too much, you know. Wherever you stand on immigration, put the arguments to one side and think about it logically. Britain is a small island on the outskirts of Europe with shit weather in the middle of a double-dip recession. If someone comes to this country, we shouldn't be happy or angry. We should be fucking surprised, Shane. I mean, what? We're just so arrogant. Oh, everyone's coming over here. Great Britain. Yeah, so great, yeah. Britain has become like that 50-year-old woman in a nightclub that's convinced herself that everyone's hitting on her. Right, James? It's like, buy your own Bacardi and Coke, Carol Vorderman. Yeah, it's ridiculous. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, it's been a lot of fun. Thank you to Russell for having me. I've been Iain Stirling. Good night. God bless. Thank you.
Iain Stirling! Right. Let's have some questions. Did you know the male octopus throws his penis to the female so she can pregnate herself and then he grows another? What a lad. Wasn't that on an Attenborough documentary? Here we see. Thanks. What a geezer. What made you laugh the hardest in your entire life? Oh, I tell you what. My friend, Will, is a brilliant comedian. Will Hodgson, he speaks like that. He's from Cheltenham. He's got a pink mohawk. And he came round my house. We did a gig and he stayed round our house and he stayed in my little brother's room, right? This was about 10 years ago. And Daniel had a little sort of tiny room in his bed. And Will and Dan thought each other were both quite odd. And the next morning I went, "You all right, Will?" He went, "No, I'm not all right, man. Your creepy little brother was staring at me all night." So, sorry to hear that. "Yeah, you should be, man." I saw my brother about sort of 10 minutes later. I was like, "What? Are you all right?" "No, I'm not all right. Your mate was staring at me all night." So they'd both been asleep in the darkness. Well, you seem wonderful. Are you ready for your headline act? I love this man. I think he's wonderful. Please welcome to the stage the brilliant Carl Donnelly!
Hey! How you doing, all right? Good, my name's Carl. It's good to be here. I recently got laser eye surgery. It's very exciting, isn't it? It's got some specky 4 eyes in. How you doing? It's the scariest thing I've ever had done, for a very simple reason. It's not a euphemism. They actually shoot lasers into your head, right? But the way you get over the fear is what I want to start with, because I think it's a very nice message, right? This is how I did it. If you want to do anything that's causing you fear, this is how you do it. You have to focus on the positives, but we all know this part. It's common sense, isn't it? But there's a second part you have to do, and that's this, right? You've got to find the negative, and that is the thing that's causing the fear. And I think our nature is to focus on the worst-case scenario. With laser eye surgery, is that it could go wrong, cause more damage, right? But then you find a positive spin on that. So the next time you get really scared, actually, the nice thing then comes in and goes, it's going to be okay, right? So this is how it worked for me. I was like, if this goes right, I don't need to wear my glasses anymore. I thought if it goes wrong, free dog. Which is quite nice, isn't it? When actually... But it is expensive as well, getting laser eye surgery. I don't know, I mean, you've got to get it done right as well. Who's getting it done on the cheap? Do you know when you see these signs that says, get your eyes done, £400 an eye? It's like, no, it's eye surgery, innit? That sounds like it's going to be a bloke with like a laser pen in his shed or something. Get it done properly. And the reason I thought I'm going to push the boat out financially is because I come from quite a poor background, so I've got quite a sort of laissez-faire view of money. Like, I don't want to be rich, I don't care about it. I've actually got an achievable level of wealth that I think I might get to one day, which I think is a nice way of doing it. Don't want a big house, don't want a big car. I want to get rich enough that I don't think batteries are too expensive. Because they've always just been well pricey, innit? Like, they've never come down. At some point in my life, I want batteries in every control in my house rather than, like, move them round like some sort of... like some sort of money laundering ring or something, isn't it? The real reason I decided to get laser eye surgery, because it's such an extreme thing, is actually quite a serious reason. I went through a divorce last year, which is crap, and everyone knows it's crap. But what surprised me was the things that some people think might be a positive of moving back out into the world again. And that is my friends who are in relationships and they're my age. They did that thing of getting quite excited that I was newly single so they could live vicariously through me. But actually, sex, when you've been in a long-term relationship, is very scary when you move into the world of being single again because you don't know if the game's changed, right? And I'll give you an example. Like, I was reading the wrong things into everything. I was very oversensitive to what I was feeling. A good little example is I got an erection at the dentist while he was drilling into my face. And part of me went, I'm into that now, apparently. into face drills. So I was all over the shop. It was weird. And then I remember basically what happened was I had to do something that was, I think, quite degenerate, but not my choice. It was a medical thing. I had to give a sperm sample to a doctor, obviously. I don't call it that in the bedroom. The doctor said, can we have a sample of your sperm? And I was like, yes, please. And the reason he asked for it is my dad's got some weird disorder and he wanted to test if I had it. So my doctor gave me a little pot and he went, can you drop a sample in tomorrow? And I was like, absolutely. And the reason I was so confident is because I was newly single. So I could have probably dropped about 7 to 8 gallons in the next day. So I took the pot, and then he said 2 things which changed the world. He went, number 1, don't drop it back to me here. We need it at the hospital. That's where the lab is, where they do the tests. And I was like, that is absolutely fine. What hospital? And he told me. I went, I know that one. And then he said this one. This was the big kicker. He went, and number 2 needs to be there within 30 minutes of it coming out of your body. And I went, what, mate? I live in London. What are the chances of me making that drive the next morning? Ain't going to happen, is it? What's going to happen is I'm going to do my sample, close the pot, put it in my pocket, jump in the car, drive for 10 minutes and then sit in traffic for 40, right? And then just have to drive home, knowing all I've done that morning is take some of my spunk out for a spin. It's not really how I spend my days, to be honest, wanking in a pot and showing it the sights. Thinking, showing it like, it's Big Ben on the left, guys. So, I said to my doctor, I went, I can't really do that, can I, doc? And he went, well, you know, you've got to. And I was like, well, it must be another option. He went, all right, there is another one. And he said this, and I get it, but he said it in a tone of voice that angered me, because it was like the most normal thing in the world to him. He just really casually went, why don't you masturbate in the hospital toilets? Yeah, and for some reason that angered me to the point that I went, so I'm not a fucking monster, mate. I knew I couldn't really sort of feel comfortable being in a hospital toilet cubicle doing that and then wondering what's going on around me. Like, I might be in a cubicle about to do my sample and there's a ceiling there. What if there's a little old lady dying on a ceiling? Like little old Beryl or Dot or one of them old lady names that they've got. She's just on a bed like... The family are all round her and the priest is giving her the last rites. It's a beautiful but very sad moment. And then 10 foot down is me going... Just doing what I've got to do. Oh, which, by the way, is my favourite thing. I learnt a proper life lesson from telling this story out loud. Do you know it's physically impossible to act out masturbating without doing it way too aggressively? Have you ever tried it? Honestly, if you watch... Because no one does it like that. It's actually quite a calm moment. I think your face goes onto that sort of standby thing. You're just like... But when you act it out, it's always wrong, man. Women are definitely more guilty of this than men. Have you ever seen a woman's impression of a man masturbating? It's my favourite thing. Because it's like you don't know us, man. Like, you see a woman talking about her husband or boyfriend. They'll be like, oh, yeah, John. He's probably upstairs having a... We don't turn into chimps when your backs are turned. We're the same people that you love and care for the rest of the time. So anyway, I didn't feel comfortable doing it in the hospital toilet, so I said to my doctor, I can't do that, mate. What else you got? And he was like, that's your only options. And you said you're not going to make the drive. And I was like, oh, mate, all right, I'll work it out. And I left the doctor's crestfallen. But then it hit me as I left. There was an option number 3 that he didn't know about. And that is this. I've got a motorbike. And I was like, I can definitely make that drive in 25 minutes on the bike, even if there's traffic, right? But then that raised a new problem. And that is this. I am a safe bike rider. I think you should be. Yeah, it's a very dangerous exercise. But I'd created 5 minutes of leeway. I couldn't waste that 5 minutes putting all my safety gear on. Defeats the purpose, doesn't it? So I had to come to terms with the fact, next morning, I was going to have to masturbate in full motorbike gear. Which doesn't sound like the end of the world. What if I have the best one I've ever had? I've got to do that regularly, just to appease the beast inside. But I did it. I had to, right? I got up the next morning. I wasn't happy about it. Got into my big bike trousers, my big bike boots, put my big jacket on. I didn't put the helmet on, just in case you're wondering. That stayed staring at me like an angry mum, just over in the corner. And then I did what I had to do. Luckily, I didn't enjoy it. I closed it up, put it in my pocket, helmet, gloves, jumped on my bike, and I rode, man. And I nailed it. 25 minutes. Walked in, all happy with myself. 2 minutes to find the lab, handed it over. Yes, please, thank you. Left, got on the bike and started riding home, and then it hit me. Right? Something really surprising about this whole event, and that's this. I assumed before I did the ride that I would have ridden there like an absolute lunatic to get there on time, because that is such a tight deadline. It's very important. But I didn't. On my life, I've never ridden my bike more carefully than that morning, for such a simple reason that every person in this room would agree with, right? And everyone at home will agree with. And that is that I don't think anyone wants to die with that in their pocket. No one wants that to be their end of days. Imagine just being in a heap like on the road, you know, just dead. You know, the police have cornered off the road. There's traffic for miles. There's people looking out their car doors. It's on the news. Don't go down this road. Then the coroner shows up because he knows there's been a motorbike death, right? And he gets there and he's like, right, guys, motorbike death. It's funny if I should know about the scene before I take a look. And there's one policeman who's going to be a hero because he's going to be the guy who's got to stand up and go, right, guys, I'll tell him. Okay, mate, look, I think you better come over here for this. We need a bit of quiet. Look, I mean, you've seen more of these than me, so I don't know if this is common, but he's fucking jizzed all over himself. Yeah. No, it's everywhere, yeah. He's actually quite impressive. He's managed to get it up his own back. Yeah. I mean, either that or worse, somebody's jizzed on him before we got here. In which case, we need backup. Guys, it's been an absolute pleasure chatting to you. I've been Carl Donnelly. Take it easy. Cheers.
Ladies and gentlemen, the one for Carl Donnelly! He took his jizz out for a spin. Thank you very much for watching the show. Good night, my friends. Good night!